social services will wait for her. So that's one part of our job that we haven't discussed anything about. We work a lot against the sugar dating websites, which is a horrible place for minors to be entering prostitution. But you asked me about the Thai massage parlors, which is also a tragedy in many ways, and it has been a huge challenge for us for many years, because we've had a situation where we've had too many of them. Okay, so the statement from the Swedish police is that about a minimum of 80% of our Thai massage parlors are in fact brothels where men buy sex, and it has been an arena where the police has had it's been very difficult for the police to be able to arrest both sex buyers and also the pimps, because when we do our arrests on the escort websites, we know that there's only one reason for the man to show up at the address, and that is to buy sex. But when we do surveillance at the massage parlor, the man will come out 30 minutes later and he will just claim he had a massage. And it is difficult for us to get the women to talk to us, because they know that they risk of being that the massage parlor will be shut down. And many of these women, they do live in the same place as they do live in massage parlor. So and also these women are also very, very afraid of the police. So the new approach from the human trafficking section, because we do not normally do cases against massage parlors, it's up to the human trafficking section, is that they've been started to shutting these places down, because we cannot simply accept that we have places where there is ongoing prostitution and the buyers get away with it. So it's difficult, but I know that I've only shut down just about 40 Thai massage parlors during this year. And you can run successful cases getting the owners sentenced for aggravated procuring and get them a 2 or 3 years in prison. Absolutely, we have several cases. But the thing is, those investigations takes a lot of resources and takes a long time. They can be investigated up to a year. And during that time, you have 20 new massage parlors that's been started up in our city. So I think it's very, very difficult I would be very honest to say, I think that's one of the areas that the Nordic model has it's difficult for us to reach the buyers by just doing surveillance from the outside. You will need to have wiretapping, phone tapping, and stuff like that, advanced technical police work, which we only can initiate if we have a pimping case or a human trafficking case. So the approach from the Stockholm police right now is to shut these places down by going to the building owners and say that you have a brothel in your house and you need to get rid of it, because according to our pimping legislation, you're not allowed to rent out a locale to someone that does prostitution. So it's difficult, because in the end, the women will of course end up in a situation where they will be forced to go somewhere else. And I think it's very, very important when you shut these places down, as the human trafficking section does, that each and every woman get to know about what kind of help and support there is to get, because in one way or another she will be affected in a way that is not good. But on the other hand, we cannot have hundreds of Thai massage parlors in Sweden where sex buyers can go freely and commit crimes without the police being able to doing proper arrests. But this is a good question, and it's a complicated story, to be honest.
Yeah, and so talking about Thai women, maybe you can explain because that question is asked so very often, and especially regarding social work. What happens if you find women in prostitution that are not from Sweden or the European Union and are basically not allowed to be in the country? So if you meet them, what happens then?
If, do you, do you know if we meet them?
Yeah, if you find them in a apartment or hotel or wherever.
Well, it depends what kind of police that meet them. If it's the border police, we will deport it. Um, and usually not in Stockholm. Well, not by this police, not our police here, but with the border police, that might happen.
Mhm.
But usually they are allowed to be here. They are here on some kind of permit. But some of them are married to maybe a Swedish man and are in quite a difficult situation a lot of times. But I guess it's the same in Germany. That well, here in Sweden, the Thai community is very close knit, and it's they don't really. It's very hard to get person from a Thai massage to help to accept some help, or sometimes it happens, but it's very difficult because they rather turn to their own community than for help with social services. Even that you talk about maybe you could start to get benefits and we could help you, or try to get a maybe they have a work permit here, and we could help you to get apply for another job or stuff like that. They don't want to come.
Mm.
Um, we, I mean, we do not basically we do not care if the woman has the right to be in the country or not, because that's not our job. These women are considered as potential victims of crime, and that's why we do not have the approach of checking their papers and see if she has the right to be here or not. We meet women each and every week that theoretically we could deport them, but we don't. We did before the first couple of years when we didn't know better. We did. The only time when we actually has to do it is, for example, if the woman is has an international arrest warrant on her. For example, we had one case where a woman was wanted by Greece for the involvement in organized crime, and of course, then we will have to arrest her. But then it's a criminal offense that she's actually suspected for in another country. So that can happen. But yes, the fact that you are here doing prostitution is not something that we we don't care if you have your papers in order or not. Um, but many women are afraid of that, especially since we almost always asks for ID. Because if the woman is like around her 20s, we will have to make sure that she has a proper ID and that she's not a minor. Um, so we definitely want to check her papers, um, and then they can be very nervous, thinking that we are going to deport them. But then we just try to explain to them that this is something that we always do, and when we go from there, I usually say to my colleagues that trust is being built when we leave the apartment. Because when we meet a woman for the first time, she has a lot of fears. Um, but when we leave and she realized that all these fears, no, nothing happened. She wasn't raped, she wasn't robbed, she wasn't deported, she wasn't put to prison. When we come by the next time, the second time, maybe a couple of days later, 1 or 2 weeks later, then it's like many times it's like meeting a new person, because something has been established, a sense of trust. Because second time this woman knows that okay, they've already been here once and they were kind to me, and that really means a lot.
Mm.
But on a first meeting with a woman, that we've never met before, we can see quite often that they are very, very afraid. And it also gets a lot easier after Mali, and their colleagues has talked to them as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So before we have the question from Valentin, we have another question in the chat. The question is, how many women that you work with actually leave prostitution per year?
Oh, it's hard to say. Like I said, 21% of that. Like last year, we met about. I actually have the numbers here. I think 261 persons in prostitution. 230 women, 8 men, and 23 transgender. And 21% of those people we linked to some kind of help. That doesn't mean that all of them left prostitution. Some of them did, but not all of the 21. No. You have to meet, like you say, 100 women, and then one leaves it.
Yeah, it's the same as here, I think. Thank you.